Hi guys, this is Sadik from Droidwing.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to flash the latest UN1CA ROM onto a Galaxy A52s 5G. So as you might be aware, this device has already been supported by numerous custom ROM, but most of them are AOSP based ROM, offering you a clean stock UI experience, which is somewhat similar to the Pixel UI. But if you want to remain confined within the One UI ecosystem, then UN1CA is the best ROM out there. It beholds quite a lot of features. As you could see, this is the entire feature list. Some features are also imported from the Galaxy phones, whereas others are from the Pixel phones as well. And numerous patches are also there. There are some features which does not usually work on a Samsung phone when rooted, but those features also tend to work in this ROM. So owing to all these benefits, let me now show you the steps to flash this ROM onto your phone right away. But before that, please take a backup of all the data on your phone. And once you are done, let's get started. All the variants of the A52s 5G are supported by this ROM. So on that note, first and foremost, make sure you are on the latest One UI 6 Android 14 build. If that's well and good, then you could get hold of the ROM zip file from here, and then transfer the ROM zip file inside the platform tools directory as well. So I will give you the link for that as well. So let's transfer it here. Moving on, you will now have to install the TWRP recovery onto your phone. Regarding this, your first course of action is to unlock the bootloader on your phone. Do note that unlocking will wipe off all the data, and it might make the warranty null and void as well. Apart from that, it will also trip the Knox, and Knox is a hardware component in the motherboard. So once it gets stripped, there is no going back. So if that's all well and good, then you could refer to a guide and the video and get this job done. In short, you have to enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. After that, you will have to boot your phone to the download mode. Then long press the volume up keys, and this will take you to the device unlock mode. Then once again press the volume up key, and after that the bootloader will be unlocked on your phone, and then you will be taken to the OS. Once you are inside the OS, please make sure to re-enable OEM unlocking once again, and it should be gray out. Let me show you that as well. Once that is done, then that signifies that the Vault-Keeper has been enabled on your phone. So make sure to do that. In my case, currently the Vault-Keeper should be missing, so I have to enable that as well. As you could see, the OEM unlocking is currently enabled and grey out. So this is the last step that we have to check mark as well. So first, let's go to the settings menu, about phone, software information, build number 7 times. This will enable developer options. Go back, again go back, go to developer options, and as you could see, currently the OEM unlocking is missing in my phone. All I have to do is simply connect my phone to the Wi-Fi. This will take just a few seconds, so let's do that. And once you have established a connection to the Wi-Fi, make sure to close the developer option from the reset screen as well, and then you have to reconnect it. So as you could see, I'm now in the Wi-Fi, and so let's close this menu from here and now relaunch it. Upon the relaunch of the developer options, the OEM unlocking should be there, and as you could see, it's now enabled. So we are now good to go ahead. So likewise, make sure to re-enable USB debugging as well. You will get a prompt, type on OK. You might get one more prompt, and that prompt type on allow. And with this, the debugging is now enabled. Let's verify the same. So for that, first and foremost, you will have to download the platform tools onto your PC. This is the link for that. Once you have got the platform tools extracted onto your PC as well, then type in CMD in the address bar of platform tools and hit enter. If that does not work out, you may also open the CMD from the start menu. Anyways, type in ADB devices and verify that you are getting an ID. If you are not getting any ID, then unplug and replug your phone from the PC. Disable and re-enable USB debugging. Tap on revoke USB debugging. Use the official USB cable that came with your phone, and use the USB 2.0 port on your PC. So carry out this USB fixture and verify that you are getting an ID. Once you are getting this ID, you will now have to move ahead with the next step. So the next step involves getting hold of the recovery and the VBMeta patch file. So the recovery file you may get hold of from the official website. Please make sure to download the tar file and not the img file. Let me show you the link as well. So this is the tar file. Download the recovery tar, and likewise also download the recovery img file, the VBMeta patch file as well. This should be also the tar file. Let me show you. This is the file, the tar file. Download both the files, and once you have got this file, you will now have to flash them via Odin. So get hold of the Odin tool from here and extract them onto your PC. Let me show you the Odin tool. It will have the following files. The Odin tool, you will get the following 4 files. Now let's move ahead with the next step. Now you have to boot your phone to the download mode. to flash this file via Odin. So for that you could either use the hardware key combination, for which I made a separate guide as you could see, or use the ADB command. For now I'm using the ADB command because it's quite easy. Simply type in the ADB reboot download command and the task stands complete. If you want to use the hardware key combination, then power off your phone, then press and hold the volume up and volume down keys while holding both the key. Connect your phone to the PC via USB cable and your phone will then move to the download mode. But in my case, I've used the ADB command. And once that is done, you will now launch the Odin tool. Via the exe file, you will get a prompt. Click on OK. Now make sure that the COM section is shown here. Likewise, your phone should be added. First off, go to the option tab and uncheck auto reboot. Now click on AP and load the recovery file, which is the recovery.tar file. This one. In the data slot, you have to load the VBMeta patch file, which is this one. So this is the VBMeta patch in the US data slot as you could see, and the recovery file in the AP slot. Once that is done and you have unchecked auto reboot, click on start. The file will now be flashed and will take only a few seconds, a couple of seconds at the very max. Once that is done, you will now have to press and hold the power and the volume down keys for around 7 seconds. And as soon as the phone is about to undergo a restart, then press and hold the power and the volume up keys. So let me show you what I mean. First and foremost, press and hold the power and the volume down keys for around 7 seconds until the phone is about to undergo a restart. And as soon as that happens, you will have to let go of both the keys and then press and hold the power and the volume up keys. This will take a few seconds more, so let's just wait. And as soon as the phone boots up, you may let go of these keys as well. So let's just wait. And you may now release the keys. And if you press the key at the right time, then your phone should now reboot to the TWRP recovery. But if you haven't done so, then your phone will either boot to the OS or the stock recovery. In both of these cases, you will then have to reflash the recovery via the Odin. So let's verify what's the case in our situation, whether we have flashed it correctly or not. And as you could see, the recovery has been flashed onto our phone, but we have done only half the job. You will now have to remove encryption. For that, you will have to do a format data. So go to wipe format data, type in yes, hit the blue check mark. Formatting is now complete. Now go back, reboot to recovery. This will remount the data partition and we could then flash the ROM zip file as well. So since we are done with the formatting, let's move ahead with the next step. Now you have to transfer the ROM file onto your phone. So for that, there are quite a few ways of doing so. The easiest of which is using a USB mount method. But in some cases, your phone might not be shown on the PC. But even if it's shown, you might not be able to access the storage. Let me show you what I mean. In my case, my phone is, let me see, is shown here, but I cannot access the storage. It's shown as empty. So in this case, I have to use the ADB push command to get the job done. That is the case with you as well. Then transfer the ROM zip file inside the platform tools directory and rename it to ROM so that the complete name becomes rom.zip. And now use the ADB push command for the file transfer, which is ADB push file name, which is rom.zip space / SD card, hit enter. The file will now be transferred onto your phone. Apart from SD card, you may also use the data or the temp directory, but it's recommended to go with the SD card. But please do not use the ADB sideload, because sideloading will end up flashing the ROM file, and you don't want to flash the ROM file via sideloading. Sideloading is only used in case of AOSP recovery like Lineage OS or Sierra Droid. But in case of Orange Fox, Pitch Black and TWRP, you should always use the install option to flash the file. So for file transferring, you could either use a USB mount and USB OTG device or the ADB push command to get the job done. So with that said, let's just wait for the file to be transferred. So guys, the file transfer failed in my case. As you could see, I'm getting an error message that failed to copy file, remote write failed, no space left on the device. I don't know why that's happening, because the SD card partition is completely blank. Well, it's not a cause of major concern because I've already made a video and a guide on the same. To fix this issue, you could also simply transfer the partition. So instead of the SD card, let's use the partition of data, and now let's verify the result as well. So guys, let's now verify what is the result. So as you could see, the file transfer is now complete. So the issue was with the SD card, even though we have done a format data, but the file was not being transferred. So in that case, we simply change the location to the directory of data, and now the file has been transferred. Let's verify the same. So tap on up a level, go to the data directory. As you could see, the file is now there. So choose the ROM zip file, swipe to flash. The flashing will now start and will take up to around 4 to 5 minutes. So let's just wait for that to happen. So guys, the flashing is now complete. Now if you want to flash any other zip file, then first do a reboot to recovery and then flash the required file. Finally, your last course of action is to do a format data once again. So let's go to wipe format data, type in yes, hit the blue check mark. After that, it's also recommended to wipe a few more partitions, namely the dynamic art, cache and the metadata. So swipe to wipe those partitions as well. And finally, you may tap on reboot system and your phone will now reboot to the newly flashed OS. Do keep in mind that the first boot up will take up some time. That is completely normal and nothing to worry about. From the subsequent time, that will not be the case. So with that said, let's just wait for the boot animation or the boot logo to appear, either of which will signify that the flashing has been done successfully, and they might now appear in around 8 to 10 seconds, after which we will set up the ROM and then have a look at the ROM features as well. So it should now boot up in a few more seconds. We will skip the initial setup process and take you to the OS directly to speed up the process so that we could then have a look at the ROM as well. And it might just be a matter of time for the boot logo or the boot animation to appear. It's just for the one time delay. From subsequent time, that should not happen. So we should just wait for a few more seconds. And I will also link this guide in the video description. You could have a look at my guide to get hold of all the flashing steps. With that said, it's taking a little bit longer, but still it's nothing to worry about as such. Let's give it some time. And as you could see, the warning is gone and our phone is now booting to the OS. This is the boot animation powered by Android. Now let's just wait for around 15 to 20 seconds more. So guys, let's now get started with the setup process, which might take a little bit longer. So as of now, I am skipping these as I have told you earlier as well. Just let's accept the terms and condition, and then we will get the rest of the job done. So if you want, you may connect your phone to the Wi-Fi, link your Google account and restore all the data. But for now, I'm skipping all of that, even this as well. So we should now be inside the OS. Let's go with the light theme, and the setup should now be done in a few more seconds. So let's just wait. Let me uncheck the Smart Tutor app because I don't want that, and finish with this. We are inside the UN1CA ROM based on the latest Android 14. We have the GoogleDoc module as well. And just to recall, you could have a look at all the features as you could see from this my guide as well. And this is the revamp QS tiles settings menu. From here you may get hold of all the tweaks. The Galaxy AI is also there, which you could customize and use it according to the requirement. In the display section, you have a few tweaks as well: font size, full screen apps, camera cutout, edge panels. Then the wallpaper and style, you may change it as per the requirement. Change the color palette. It's based on the Material UI theming engine. So the dominant color of the wallpaper will be applied as a theme across all the icons, and the same will be the case with the app icons as well. Let's try to use it and check out the result. This will take a few seconds at the very max, and it's now implemented. And the entire theme of the ROM, as you could see, even the QS tiles is now changed. Then apart from that, there are a few advanced features as well in the labs button, side button. You may also add a side button and then double press to open any app of your choice, or use the power button for the power menu, which is quite obvious, but nowadays let's open Bixby. The multi-video option is also there. In the multi-window, you may use two apps simultaneously. Then dual messenger, use two apps at the same time. UN1CA settings, you could tweak all the settings from here. And then Play Integrated Fix, you will have to go online and then tap on it. This will update the latest Play Integrated Fix version, and then you will pass the Play Integrated. You will only pass the basic and the device test, which is more than enough for most of the ROM, for most of the apps. But if your phone also requires a strong test to pass, then you may request for that. In my guide, I will share the Keybox XML file, and then using that file, you could then even pass the strong test as well using the Keybox file and the rest of the modules given here. So apart from that, live blur effect, force peak refresh rate, your phone will always be on the highest refresh rate. Those will lead to additional battery drainage as well. Allow screenshot in the apps in which they are blocked, mostly such as, let's say, banking apps as well. Then you may also easily allow application downgrade, which is not supported by default in many custom apps. Moreover, if you want to install an app which is targeted for a lower Android version, for example, most of the apps are there for Android 10 and you are running Android 14, then you may enable this option and then you could easily install the app without any issue whatsoever. It's just that it should be for your CPU architecture. We are not talking about bypassing the CPU arc. We are talking about bypassing the OS version. So keep this point in mind. Then in the about phone section, you could get hold of all the required information. It's the latest One UI 6 running the Android 14 build, as you could see. So guys, on that note, I round up this video. If you have any query with regard to any of the flashing steps, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.